What a pre-season it's been. Deadwood shipped out, experienced signings made a fresh new look. Weight loss, people going missing, Twitter spats, it's had it all. And that's just a story of us lot in the studio. This is Talk Posh. Hello and welcome to all new Talk Posh. It's good to be back, boys, isn't it?
Very good to be back.
As you can see, it's been a pre-season of changes for us. We have a brand new studio, brand new sponsors in Serpentine Green Shopping Centre, so we thank them. They've supplied this nice new studio we got, and a new starting lineup. Alex, he keeps his place behind the camera. Adam and Chris have signed brand new deals. Ben has made his loan move permanent, and we have done a PSG and made a big summer signing in Del Boy over here. Evening, boys.
Evening.
As ever, you can contact us on the comments below or tweet us at TalkPosh. Remember also to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you can share this live video, we would really appreciate it. Now, just to walk you around our famous new studio, you'll see up here we've got the Chris Turner wall. It's going to be the fan wall, and you don't have to pay to be on this fan wall either. So we're going to have, if you want to get your nominations in, or if you want to be on this wall, for about a month or so, get your nominations in and tell us why you want to be on the Talk Posh. Yeah, excuse the train going by there. If you want to be on the Talk Posh Wall of Fame as well. And what else we got? That's about it. That's about it, really. So if you coming up later in the show, we've got some new features and some of the old ones as well. But before we talk Plymouth, obviously we haven't been around for a few weeks. Most of the closed season, obviously, we haven't done a pre-season review. So I thought what we'd do is have a look at a few transfers, both in and out. Obviously, it's been a major overhaul, hasn't it, boys? Like a complete overhaul of the whole first team squad, really. Loads of new signings in, including the fresh, young, hot kind of prospects, the 17-year-old Carnu, is it? And obviously then the experienced signing in Taylor. I think we should start there because for me, it's an absolute shock, Dale, signing someone with pedigree such as Taylor.
I think it is. I think it's a bit of a shock for all of us. You know, let's face it, the guy is actually past his best, but we need to remember we're League One. And I actually think it's probably going to end up being one of the best centre-backs in League One. And I think we're fortunate enough to have him. Hopefully fitness levels will be fine, the injuries, whatever. But overall, superb signing, really superb. Especially after, we'll move on to Bostwick in a bit. But Bostwick going, I was a bit disappointed, but then to have Taylor come in, you can understand why these things happen. So, yeah, I'm quite encouraged by him.
He seemed to show a lot of passion on Saturday as well.
Without that.
After the game as well, there was quite a few of them that came towards the London Road Terrace and did the fist pump, obviously, and he was one of them. It's something between the new signs that there's more spirit between them, there's more togetherness, and it's what they wanted, you know, it's what Darryl wanted to bring in, and in my eyes, it's what he's done. So Stephen Taylor, big one for me. But it's not just him. Like I say, there's some of the signings we have brought in this year, fantastic, and it really does look tight, that squad.
I've got to agree with you, sorry.
Yeah, go.
There. Just, I know Taylor ain't on Twitter, but just looking at the banter, I know McCann and McCanty was saying they want to bring a different sort of mentality to the club. But if you look on Twitter and Facebook, some of the banter and some of the humour, some of the way they're sort of the new players are sort of gelling it together, I think it's superb. It's really good. I like it anyway.
Yeah, they have come together well. They really have come together well. Considering this is the biggest upheaval we've had in years, absolute years. But they've all gelled together really quickly. I mean, nothing showed it more than Jack Baldwin had a get together for them round his house, didn't he? Yeah. And nearly every single player was there with their families. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we're going to go through them sort of one at a time. I'm not going to go through all the new signings and stuff, but at home, if you want to join in as well, if you for Stephen Taylor, for example. Thumbs up if you think it's a good signing. Angry faces if you don't. I can't imagine many angry faces on that one. But Stephen Taylor, for me, like we were talking about, like Dale said as well, I think that he is injury prone. That's a disappointment. He hasn't played a lot in the last few seasons as well. But just going back to what Adam said, he's definitely showing that passion, and I think he'll be a great signing for us. Let's have a look at some of the others then that have come in. Got Miller. Obviously, Miller came in right at the start, didn't he? What do we think about Miller?
For me personally, I've never heard of him. I don't really have an interest in lower leagues, Premier Leagues. I only have interest in Peterborough United, so I've never actually heard of Ricky Miller, believe it or not, until he come on the radar. You know, who am I to judge whether he'll be good, whether he won't be? but already you can see there's something about him. You know, as a local lad, as people were saying, I actually think he'll do well for us. He wants to play for the badge. Look at him in a couple of pre-seasons, he looks impressive. So, benefit of that, I think he'll do all right.
Does he get in the squad though straight away?
Yeah.
You know? After Saturday, you can't split Marriott and Junior up yet. I mean, does he come straight back in at Donny? That's the question that's obviously going to be brought up in the next couple of weeks. But
I'm not sure about coming straight back in. Definitely being on the subs bench, minimum, absolute minimum.
You've got the worry there though as well that Carney's got that 6-game period to try and give himself a chance of being the third choice striker behind those two. If that's the way we're looking at it, if Carney's playing fantastically, can you drop him back to a fourth striker role almost?
They might try to do it based on his age. But apart from that, if the three are doing well, then you can't really just expect Miller to walk straight into it. And I come from it from a complete opposite of you, Del, in that I watched him at Stanford for years. So to me, he was a non-league striker, genius non-league striker, brilliant. But I didn't think he could step up to league football. I think at the back end of last season, we said about it on the show. Yeah. I said, I hope he does well, but I didn't think he would. Now, having seen him play a few times, especially in the recent friendlies, my expectations have gone right up there of him now, whereas they were about mid-level before. So
just apologies. We thought we sorted out all this sound issue. There's a lot of you at home saying that you can't really hear and stuff. We've invested in new mics as well. I don't know quite what's happening. The sound guy behind the cameras seem to think it's okay, but if you lot at home can't hear us, that's not good.
We'll speak louder.
Yeah, let's speak louder.
I think going back to Miller as well, he scored 40 plus goals in the conference last season. And I don't think, even if you're struggling in the league as a striker, you can't go from scoring 40 to scoring like 1-2 goals a season kind of thing. You've got that natural instinct, so surely he's going to bang in a few for us regardless.
No.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's talk about, I'm just sidetracked with all this sound and stuff like that, so let's talk about the people that have gone out there. Boswick, for example, he was in the team a lot last year. Ben, you've got a few opinions on Boswick?
I'm more of the furore it caused at the time. I mean, there's not been a transfer that caused that much fuss in a long, long time. A lot of it was the shock that he's gone to Lincoln more than anything else. But I could see why the club did it. I thought for the last 3 or 4 years we'd kept him here. After the relegation from the Championship, we took a gamble on the wage budget each year, keeping him here. And after a few years, you've got to ask, is a change necessary? If we wanted to do a bigger people of the squad, we had to get the biggest wage earner off the books. And essentially that's what's happened. Getting rid of Boswick has allowed us to bring in Taylor, all the others. If Boswick hadn't left, Taylor wouldn't be here.
I think I alluded to it a little while ago. I was gutted. I was disappointed that Boswick went. Obviously the longest serving player. Just something about him. I appreciate he wasn't going to play week in, week out, but there's just that presence about him, which I actually liked. So at the time I was disappointed, but then the following day when we was announced that Taylor's come in, I thought I couldn't see why we've done what we've done, But then you look at Anthony Grant. I'm a little bit critical of Anthony Grant. With I think he's going to be suspended quite a lot. However. On Saturday, I thought it was superb. Yeah. He got his customary yellow card. Perhaps 6-7 games time, he'll get his first suspension. But as far as that grit in the midfield, superb.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's if we had the budget where we could have kept Boswick as well, I would have been all for that.
We haven't got
it. But in a financial world, we can't.
No, I mean, like I say, that makes sense. It really was the fact that Boswick went, and then I think Taylor realistically came in the next day, and that's what the club knew what they were doing. I mean, Taylor had been in the building apparently a week before anyway, so with Taylor in the building, Boswick actually still was in the building.
Exactly.
As well.
If we knew that was going to happen, would there be who are about him going? Of course
no, half the fuss.
But Boswick, if you look at the squad as well, prior to Taylor coming, Boswick was getting to being fourth choice defensive midfielder. Grant, Doherty, and Forrester, they're all going to be ahead of him in that respect, I think, by the looks of the squad. And he was going to be at least third choice centre-back from behind Baldwin and Tafazoli. So, in a way as well, it wasn't really fair on him to just keep him there as a maybe man if we needed him kind of thing. I think it was the fairest thing the club could have done was let him go.
It was the right thing to do. At the time, I was disappointed, but, I can change my opinions, believe it or not. sometimes. In hindsight, now we know all the facts, it was the right thing to go. He's going to be playing regular football. He's still going to be close to home, which is quite important to him. Fair play to him. Good luck. Thanks for what he has done for us. We move on. That's life.
Some others as well then. Let's talk about Tom Nichols. He went. Love him or hate him last season. Will he be missed? Ben?
I think it was a minority of people who wanted him to stay. They were just a very vocal minority afterwards. He was the top scorer, you can't deny that. But I just wasn't convinced by him at any point. I'm not sad to say he's gone. I do expect him to get into double figures for Bristol. Is it Bristol Rovers? Yeah, this season. See, I didn't even remember. Yeah, but your ex-players always come back to bite you in the arse, don't they? So.
No, I'm a little bit mixed, if I'm honest. I wasn't sorry to see him go. I wasn't glad he's gone. I've said it quite a few times. He reminds me of Craig Macklesmith in our first year. You know, Craig Macklesmith's first year, he weren't great. You know, he chased a lot, like Tom Nichols. He had loads of one-on-ones, like Tom Nichols. He scored a couple, like Tom Nichols. The difference is, Craig Macklesmith stayed for an extra few years because he was giving him more time. Yeah. Tom Nichols hasn't. What may have happened with Tom this year? He still may have been a flop. He may have shone. We'll never know, but I wasn't too disappointed or too happy either way.
I'm personally on the opposite. You know, I was actually quite sad to see him go. I thought that personally, we've replaced Tom Nichols with a 17-year-old who potentially isn't going to get in the team week in, week out. We've said it, Nichols was our top scorer last season. Okay, you don't get rid of your top goal scorer unless it's a big money move, which it wasn't. It's the fans that forced him out, and I think it was quite disgusting, really, because I think it was the Saturday game, which was QPR in the friendly, and obviously Nichols was the second half team, and at half time warming up, his name was brought out, and I was in the family stand for that game, and his name was read out, and he was booed, and he actually looked straight at the kit man, and pointed over to the family stand, and in my eyes, that's what pushed him over the edge because he was happy.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
It is, but it's not just that. You know, Posh fans are always critical, but we boo players nearly every week. Okay.
No, some people boo.
Correct.
Yeah,
some people.
Some people.
There is a minority which boo, but that minority can be heard. And personally, it's that minority that have pushed him out the door. I actually wish him all the best at Bristol, and I think he will haunt us on this Saturday.
Where do you think he would have been though? Would he out of the fourth? If he was our fourth choice striker instead of Kanu, would he have been fourth choice this season?
I don't think. No, I don't think he would have played. I don't think so. Yeah,
I don't think
I think he's right to go.
That would have been though the motivation he needed to improve himself, because last season he wasn't really being challenged up front, was he? That was the problem. We didn't have anyone up front who was on form at all. And Nichols was playing by default almost.
Or alternatively, if Nichols hadn't have gone, would we have signed Kanu?
No. That's
well, there you go then. So he wouldn't have had that much of a. But good luck to him. We'll move on.
Yeah.
I think we should move on during the game during this show as well. There's a few people noticing there's a bit of a what's it called? A shot mark coming up on Dell's face. That's just a sniper in the background, just trying to blast up Dell. Sorry about that, mate.
Is Madison watching?
Yes. Talking about Madison, you'll see here there's a swear jar. Now it's mainly for this bloke here, to be fair, because anyone that's seen Dell on Twitter will know he likes a swear word or two. So anytime he does swear, there's money in the jar, and that's going to Free Kicks Foundation. But also tonight, we thought we'd put an extra swear word in, and that is that name I just mentioned, Madison. So no negativity can be made against Madison tonight, okay?
I agree with that, but then to be fair, we have got another 45 weeks.
We have. I'm just saying tonight, though, mate, I'm ready to go. But tonight, no negativity on Madison. Let's talk about the Plymouth game then, boys. Good start to the season, 3 points.
First game of the season, I think sometimes first game of the season can be a stumbling block. I think the simple thing is we got a win out of it. We scraped our way through it. We could have drawn towards the end. They had their fair share of chances. We could have scored a load more goals ourselves, kind of thing. Come out at the other end with a 2-1 result. Just take it. Go on to the next game. Just leave it behind. I think that's the way of looking at it.
Yeah, just really pleased to have got the 3 points for the first game. I put no stock in pre-season or the first result of the season. First result of the season is always like a cup game. Literally, teams have come up, teams come down, teams they're on a crest of a wave. A lot of people would have fancied Plymouth to continue last season's form, being the promoted team. So just to get the wins fine enough, and then form comes in the next few matches afterwards.
I definitely agree. I mean, I wasn't overly happy with the whole performance myself personally. I mean, there was obviously two players which had an outstanding game in Anthony Rant and John Bond, but just in my opinion. But like I say, the win was the most important thing. Something which I personally felt weird about was obviously when they scored there, we had about 12 minutes left of the game, and I didn't at one point feel comfortable that we wasn't not going to concede again. I felt like it was, we was actually fighting for something. And
if that had been the last half of our season, we would have conceded again.
Yeah, we
definitely.
The fact that we were able to shut up shop and stop conceding a second goal was something that seems to have changed from last season. And I think we've got to take that as a positive.
We were actually expecting it. Who here wasn't expecting a second Plymouth goal once that first one went in?
Well, I think we all were. I was I put down there's going to be lots of goals in the game. Overall, I actually really enjoyed the day. I enjoyed the first half. I enjoyed most of the second half. First 15-20 minutes, I was quite impressed with our team play, if I'm honest. Madison played some fantastic balls. His ball down to Leo, obviously who crossed it over for the own goal. Last season, I think Madison would have tried to shoot rather than pass. So fair play, I thought it was a good little pass there. My concern is during the game, I felt that the top two was far too deep. Most of the time it was in our own half. We had all 11 players in our own half. All right, granted we were defending, but once we got the ball, we was having to hold on to it longer before we could release it because the strikers, the wing backs, had to get up front to sort of to do the business. So I think a little bit of area needs to be improved there.
It's because of the counter-attacking play, isn't it? Like,
there's counter-attacking, and there's like being in your own half to a counter-attack. You don't expect both attackers to be in your own half at the same time. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
I just thought it was a little bit too deep for too long.
But I think that's what we've got to get used to. We've got to get used to that style of play this season. How many you score? We'll score one more.
I'm happy with that.
It's going to be that type of game. And until they scored, I didn't feel really pressured. We should have had another one in the second half, but their keeper obviously pulled off a.
No, I agree.
I don't know what he did. He just flapped at it, but somehow got it away. But like I say, if we think about it, Bond, I can recall 3 fantastic saves he made. Because realistically, if they went in and he didn't make them, we'd have lost the game.
Which is a bit of a worry. Whilst we look reasonably solid, it's a bit of a shame that the man of the match was our goalkeeper at home.
It says a lot.
It does say a lot. Obviously, clearly work's got to be done. The wing backs are not quite the defenders we need. Leo, to be fair to him, is playing in a position that he's not used to. He's playing in a position that is not his strong point. I'm not going to knock the lad because he was doing his best, but going forward he went too bad. Defensively, he needed to be a bit tougher.
Yeah.
But overall, I enjoyed the game.
Just bring up that the man of the match that was chosen by a small amount of sponsors, whereas Bond did do really well. Don't take it away on the polls that were done. Anthony Grant edged him out.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, we're going to talk about Plymouth a bit more in a second, but first we're just going to show you some goal recreations. Goal recreations are back this season, and it was me, Ben, and Adam's turn to do it. So get your guesses into what goal this is. Good stuff. Del, you didn't do it, mate. What do you reckon?
No, I was actually washing my hair or something, but looking at that, there's only one goal it can be, really, and that is Andy Clark against Brentford. We won 5-1, and he clearly took the Michael.
Yeah.
Slight difference there. You headed it. Andy Clark handballed it over.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it was.
But no, Andy Clark.
I think it is Andy Clark,
2002.
and I think a few lads have got it on there as well. Yeah, Ian Simmons, Kevin Jackson, well done, boys. Here's the real goal.
Offence through ball. Clark is onside. The keeper sold himself, and Clark has to just roll it in. Well, he's used his head. That's schoolyard stuff. And much as professionals don't like having the mickey taken out of them, there's not a lot they can.
There we go, good stuff. We'll get back to the Plymouth game. So, lads, like I said earlier, good start to the season. 3 points. Just want to go back to the wing back thing. We have touched on it. We're talking about Lopez in that position as well. What do we think of the formation? Do we think it's a good formation? Obviously, the diamond has been ditched. There's a lot of people on the show last year, a lot of viewers especially, were saying about the diamond being ditched. A lot of people on social media. Chris, what do you reckon?
I think somebody touched on it earlier about the defence capabilities of Lopez and Edwards as well. They're naturally attacking players, and are we going to suffer down the wings at the back because of that? I know we've got the 3 across the back now with Tafzoli, Baldwin, and Taylor, but are we wanting them to be drawn out to the side and things? The other question I'm going to have as well, touching on the Maddison issue, there's been talk about Maddison going at some point. I reckon if Maddison goes, Leo moves into his position potentially to play that number 10 that McAntony keeps praising him for. If that's the case, who fills in then for Leo?
Oh, what about Danny Lloyd?
Yeah,
in
that's who I'd have put in.
positions?
Danny Lloyd's more likely to get that position, you'd have thought.
There's something about Leo, and he's got unbelievable ability for his age, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think on Saturday I felt he looked a bit too out of depth. I thought Guion actually did alright, and I'd be happy to play Guion there again, but it's Leo, it's a new role for Leo. The attacking bit, no problem, but I just felt his defending bit, he just gave away too much. But then if you've got Stephen Taylor on the right of the 3 as such, then he's definitely covering him. Now, did it work on Saturday? We don't really know, do we? We've got to give it a couple of more times. But I think that potentially is, because you've got 3 at the back, you are being dragged out and you are covering them a little bit more. And like I say, the attacking was no issue on Saturday, I don't think.
No, I think what we've got to do is give Grant time, because last season, or the last season before that, and perhaps well, in fact, for the last 10 years, we could say we've been moaning about the diamond. Everyone's disagreeing with the diamond. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, has it?
Now we're trying a different formation. We've got to give them time to try it and make it work.
I would just add to that, it's not so much the fact that it's the diamond that's been the problem, it's been the lack of option when it's not working.
Plan B.
Yeah.
So this is what we mean. If the wing back thing isn't working, we need to have something that we can revert to in the game that works with the players we've still got on the pitch. That's the biggest concern, I think. It's not so much starting with one formation, it's can we change it if we need to change it up.
And now we've got a formation where it actually changes during the match, whereas when we got the ball, we're a different formation to when we're defending. So, it's already an improvement.
I thought we'd just get some fans' point of view from just who's watching at home. Ian Simmons said Leo weak in the tackle. Dan says, say if we signed Little in the summer, would he even be playing now? Mark Little, there was talks about that going on, weren't there? Ian Gow, I think he's on about...
He's got no ability.
He's got no ability.
That was Leo.
Yeah. A few different things. Yeah, Plan B will be the diamond, Mark Watson is saying. So he's saying that maybe the Plan B will now be the diamond, where it wasn't.
Did they use the diamond at all in pre-season though?
No.
I never saw it.
Oh, really?
We played 4-4-2 on one match. We played something else as well. I'm not quite sure, but it was never the diamond.
Reverting back to the diamond from playing the wing back thing, we only have 3 naturally defensive players on in that starting.
That's a fair point.
Who's going to then drop back? Do we have Guion then playing at the left back position, or do you have Lopez going back to the right back formation and the diamond forming from that? How does that work?
You'd have to bring a sub on from the bench probably, or carry a fullback on the bench.
But I think we've got to take positives. They're trying new things. We're trying to be more entertaining. And God, I was entertained on Saturday. To be fair, I was entertained.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with 5-4 or 4-3, but.
And I think that's the point, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying on social media, that it's going back to that kind of time where we were scoring more goals than the opposition, which, believe me, I love that. I think that's going to be quality.
Alexander Fergie era, weren't it?
That's it.
I think though in League One that's a positive thing to do. I think that's worked for us before. It's just transitioning up to the Championship and not trying to carry on that mentality.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take this season.
Yeah.
Game by game.
Well, I've got a little question for you boys regarding the starting lineup on Saturday compared to the starting lineup against the first game of last season. How many players were in the starting lineup on this Saturday that were on the Rochdale game last season? Any ideas? Any ideas at home as well?
Only
Without
one
looking at Google.
I'm going 3.
One in defence with Tafazoli. Baldwin was injured, weren't he?
I'm going 3.
You going 3?
Scored at Rochdale, didn't he? But did he start?
No, he didn't.
And I would have thought Madison started.
Yeah, Madison would have started.
Right, let's have a look. 3. It was Baldwin, Lopez, and Madison.
Baldwin?
Last game. Oh, sorry. Sorry, just gave that away. Anyway, it's Taff, Lopez, and Madison. That's the ones.
Yeah.
So it proves as well. Look, my point regarding that was how many signings we have made during the close season, and it's also shown on the last game against Bolton. How many players for that? I just really gave it away. 3 players again, and that was Baldwin, Lopez, and Madison. So my point was looking at how much we've actually done during pre-season is quite amazing. So
But it's 11 signings, isn't it? You know, we've obviously bought that keeper in. It's gone through 11 signings now, obviously, because we bought that new keeper in today from St Pat's, obviously, where Forrester came from. So obviously not too bad place. But yet again, you know, that's 3 goalkeepers we've now got at the club, and Josh Tibbetts, to me, actually had a better pre-season than Jonathan Bond.
Tibbetts will be out on loan, though.
I think so. I agree.
And it will be good for him.
No.
But like I say, it's you know, he's come from Birmingham. He's got the excitement, and I think he's actually quite a good young keeper.
Yeah.
You know, he played better in the games against Ipswich and who else? Wolves on them 2 occasions. And like I say, I really do think he could be a young prospect. With this one, does that mean that we're not only going to get one for 6 months, because he is only here till the end of January?
Well, it is.
isn't
Well, Darius said today on the signing that it's the first goalkeeper we've signed who's our own for a long time that's actually going to be fighting for a place. So I read into that Bond will be here till January. Tibbetts will probably go out on loan for 6 months. Who knows what goes from there?
Bond has a stormer all the way till January, though.
Okay, let's see what happens.
oh yeah, exactly. Let's go. I'm just going to have a look at a few comments on here. Plenty of guesses for my question. A few of them got it right. Ian Gow, you got it right, mate. Well done. Dan Selcraig, I'm sorry, mate. Wrong one. Chris Johnson says, "I love Adam."
Someone from work.
There you go, mate. Little shout out for him. What else have we got? Yeah, Thomas says Tibbetts should be given a chance. He had a good pre-season. Yeah, some good comments there. I think what we'll do, we'll move on to then the games coming up then. We've got Barnet tomorrow night, and then Tom Nichols. We're going to see Tom on Saturday as well. We'll start with the Barnet game tomorrow night. Are we going? Are we excited about the game tomorrow night?
Of course.
I'm actually excited. Tomorrow night, I haven't got the kids. I've transferred, cheers Chris, by the way, I've transferred my ticket to London Road End, and I'm going to be as far away from that drum as I can. But I'm going to be in London Road End. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A bit like the old days, sitting in or standing in London Road before it gets knocked down.
We've got the return of Ricardo Santos as well, obviously. Not that many of us can tweet him anymore because we've all been blocked. But like I say, it will be very interesting to see. Also, we've got Shaq Coolfirst as well returning. So that's actually 2 Posh there straight away returning. We've said today that we want to go far in that cup. Realistically, you know, it's another good chance, but really, then again, D-Mac says he wants to check a trade. In my eyes, and I said it to someone last week, the FA Cup we need to be knocked out first round because it's just causing too much. It is causing too much negative.
It's true. No, I think I agree with you. You know, the last few years when we have got to the 3rd round, we've been doing all right up until then, and we just fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to win it. Let's be honest. You know,
it helps the money. It helps the finances.
It does help.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing. If we do well during the season in the league, then you can offset that finance a bit. But if we're mid-table, edge of playoffs, then we need a cup run to bring the money in.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at it, there were 6,300 Posh fans there on Saturday. Now, that's probably the best for a long time, you know. Obviously, Plymouth did bring 1,300, which fair play to them. But
just picking up on the tickets there is, I think, to be fair, the club have done a superb job during the summer because season tickets were down. Whatever Dara or anybody says, season tickets were down. The club have done one hell of a good job in you know, promoting season tickets. The 10-match season ticket, superb value for money, you know, for those that can't go every week. So you've got to give the club credit for trying to get the fans there. You know, pre-season friendlies, the prices, was it £5 a game?
Yeah, I think it was 15 quid for the 3 games. So realistically,
that's nothing.
Got one
You know,
free,
absolutely.
so.
What more could they do to entice us fans to go?
They can't, and like I say, tomorrow is cheap as well. So realistically, it should be bringing. We've just won on Saturday, so it's going to bring a few more. I'm not saying we're going to get 6,300 fans there again, but it'd be nice to be pushing for. You know, if it was on a Tuesday night in a cup, which yet again we're probably not going to go and win it. but it's another good chance to see the team and potentially you'll play a different squad.
Well, no, he's already said that he's going to play the strongest team available. Hopefully he'll stick to that. Looking forward to that. Barnett's got that. What's that geezer's name? I can't even say it.
John Akinde.
That's him. He's out injured. So, let's give it a good go. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, to be fair.
I think touching on something that Adam brought up as well about going out in the first round of the FA Cup later on in the season so it doesn't scupper us. I think, is it the Football League Cup that we win one round and the Premier League big boys come in?
In the second, yeah.
So,
apart from the Euro.
We could get a big draw
in just one match
after one game, and it's at the start of the season, so it won't throw us off course too much and things like that. I think that's the better way of trying to make a bit of cash in the season, is it not?
And with the cup matches, it's a case of last season we had a team that mentally didn't look right, and it affected them. This season, maybe we'll have players who are a bit more with it come that time.
No, you're right. Just picking up a message here. Mark Watson, if Santos gets booed tomorrow, do we care if he gets upset? No.
Oh, Santos. Why did he make that comment? I mean, really. I think we should. What a numpty. I nearly swore there. I nearly had to put a pound in the swear box.
I've done really well to control myself.
That's good, mate. Well done. That's
just
fantastic.
Ian Gale, I've got to mention Ian. Top lad, actually, if anybody knows him. Nothing to do with the FA Cup third round. Managers work us out first half of the season and we can't do anything about it. Probably right, to be fair, to a fashion.
Well, it's interesting.
Let's see what happens this year.
No, but that's interesting, though, because I think D-Mac's come out and he's already said about... He's looked at the end of the season. He's looked at the fact that so many times recently got to Christmas doing okay and it failed. And he's pointed towards Ben McKenzie, isn't he? The fitness guy there. Yeah. And it's obviously all about fitness at the end of the coming into the end of the season and stuff. So it will. I mean, although Ben's been here for a few years, I know he went away and come back again. But be interesting to see what he's doing differently to enable them to get their fitness back up and see what happens there. But we'll move on to the Bristol Rovers game then. That's away. What does anybody think about that one? I mean, it's going to be tricky going down there, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they lost on Saturday against Charlton, didn't they? And they had quite a lot. They had the best following in League One, actually. They took 2,700 to Charlton, which is very good for them. It is going to be tricky. Not going to lie, but like I say, I think we as a team, we've got to have the mentality that the same again. You score this, we'll score that. Tom Nichols, he actually started on the bench on Saturday and came on after 30 minutes due to an injury from someone else. So
it's all about Tom Nichols this game.
It is potentially because you've just got to stop him. I mean, Tom Nichols. The thing is, what he'll do. He's fully committed to Bristol Rovers now. He knows full well, and he was with us up until a week and a half ago. He knows our game plan, and he will be passing that on to the managers. It's not. He went to Spain with us, and he wanted to be here. Don't get me wrong, but he's going to be passing that on, And I think that's something because it is so fresh. It's still in Tom's mind, and I think it's something that we've actually got to look at, But I mean, he hasn't. I mean, I don't think he actually got to play with Stephen Taylor and that, but it's the only one that he wasn't actually committed to when he was here. I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't personally think that Bristol Rovers will be pushing this season. They were obviously last season, weren't they? They just they finished just above us. But we ended their promotion hopes, didn't we? 2 games towards the end, so I don't think they're going to be doing this season.
You touched on it, they played Charlton at the weekend, didn't they? Didn't they play Charlton were down to 10 after about 5 minutes, weren't they? Well?
I
think 90 out of the 92 teams at the weekend were down to 10 men. There was loads of red cards.
Charlton were down very early on, so that was Rovers were playing against 10 men for the best part of 90
It
minutes.
is sometimes harder though to play against 10 men. It's something that I've always said. If you're playing against 10 men, I actually find it quite hard. So.
Yeah. What's going on here? There's a bit of a poll going on for me and Gal about a pizza or something.
Yes, you do, Ian.
Yeah, good stuff. Sean said Nichols to get crunched by Taylor. That'll be interesting. Paul says, do professionals actually pass this information across? Surely managers have their own ideas and won't allow a player to dictate formations or tactics. That's referring to Nichols.
They've done that for years. I mean, you buy a player, you're buying their knowledge as well. So
it wouldn't be Taylor I'd be worried about. It's Grant in front of him if he plays. That boy likes to slide in if Nichols is there with the ball.
Flipping it, absolutely. So we're going to go to Prediction League then. We've got a slightly different format over to Chris for the slightly different format of the Prediction League.
So we simplified it down this season and invited you guys to join in on an individual basis. we simplified it down, basically just predicting the score and predicting the first goal scorer in the match. Now, probably going to cause a bit of controversy here, but with it being an own goal at the weekend, we have taken own goal as being the first goal scorer. We're not like the fancy Sky Bet or whatever they are. So there was no one with the correct goal scorer this week. We did have 9 people who correctly predicted that we would go on to win 2-1, and a fair chunk of people predicted that we would go to win. I think there was only about 8 or 9 people in the end who didn't think Posh would go on and win the game.
Okay.
So as it stands, there's 9 people ahead on 3 points, and then the rest of us, apart from Ben, who is at the top of the league.
I would
with those
dance
9
when my
people.
microphone will come out.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's a really good first. So what happened is we'll get a tweet out. So we won't be actually commenting on this and getting your scores in here. So there'll be a tweet out and a Facebook message as well to get all your scores in for. And we'll be doing Saturday's game. But in the studio, we will do our scores now. So we need first goal scorer and score from you, Chris. What are you going for?
Are we doing it for the Rovers?
Bristol
match?
Rovers game, yeah.
Goal scorer, Marriott. Score itself, I'll go 2-0 Posh.
Wow. Ben?
2-1 Posh again. And I'll go for... You see, I was going to say Guillaume, but I don't fancy him scoring in the position he's playing, so I'll go for Marriott again.
Going to go for the scrapey 1-0 win this weekend, and I'm going to go for Baldwin with the goal.
I am going to go 3-1 Posh. First goal scorer.
I wonder what you're going to say now.
Only if it's in the negative, you owe money.
Okay,
so
Madison.
that's fine. We're all right. Okay, I'm going to go 1-0 with... I was going to say Nichols. I don't know. I'm going to go Nichols. That'll be interesting.
1-0
Bet, yeah.
Nichols.
1-0 Nichols. I reckon he
Can
might
we ask?
play
Can
up
we
there.
suggest
You can't do that.
away?
No, you can't do
No.
that. It's got to be a posh
What?
player.
Has he got a push
No,
back?
some people did go away.
Did
Did
they?
they?
Away last time, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I got through off there because I saw Nichols coming on there and I was going to say someone else, but Nichols it is. Good stuff. So, yeah, so look out for the tweet, look out for the Facebook message as well. For us, yeah. Adam.
No, it's just something else on that. Obviously, we've got people coming on the feed now. Just literally, we need you to be tweeting us. Like I say, the tweet we're up tonight after the show. Closing entries will be the same again, so Friday at 10 o'clock. Any after that won't be counted. We actually had 92 people enter this week, which is fantastic.
93 actually.
93 was it? Okay, so
Yeah.
93. Obviously, like I say, we need you to keep tweeting, keep posting on the Facebook feed, just to be counted in this week.
Adam will tweet out the whole league table as well at various points during the week.
He will. Chris, one last thing from you regarding the fantasy football. We're doing fantasy football. I know some people like Premiership, some people don't, but
yeah, just Premier League fantasy football. I think it's Fantasy.Premier League website. We're going to set up a Talk Posh League on there. I think it's already set up. And again, Adam will be tweeting out the code. So if you guys want to come and join that and compete against us as well, I think everyone's entered a team there. Some people have pointed out that they're not really Premiership savvy.
I've got a clue.
I'll allude to Dale here, so he's probably going to go and storm it.
For anybody that does actually go on it, it's so simple. You just go in, you log in, and it actually will pick a team for you.
Yeah.
Which was quite a result. So I was quite happy with that. And I'm sorry, by the way, Sarah, I know.
yeah. Did she say you're always right? Good stuff. Remember to get your nominations in. If you want to be on the fan wall up here, want to get your pictures in here, just below Chrissy Turner, who is just about in there. That's we should get that more in there. But anyway, nominations into who wants to go on there. And also next week, when this table is slightly more cleared, we're going to have a Talk Posh 1 to 11 on here. A tweet will be going out tonight to nominate your goalkeeper for the pre-Darragh McAntony era of who you think should be in our Talk Posh 1 to 11. So you can get your nominations in later. I know who I'd nominate for goalkeeper only because of his mask. Freddie Barber for me. But just quick, anyone, any ideas? For
Ian Bennett.
Ian Bennett.
You got to go Joe Neenan, haven't you?
Joe Neenan, boys.
Obviously, I was joking there.
I didn't know who he was.
It's two of us.
I don't think you can really look past Bart Grimmick, really, in my opinion. So,
To be fair, you ever see him in a nightclub, you'll never put your hand in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Oh, really?
But it was a John Turner. you know, broke his leg. He was half decent for us.
You're a fan of Seaman, aren't you, Adam?
Me,
Good.
That was awful.
You nearly said yes as well, didn't you?
Well, it's the worst thing is because actually Ian Gow just put Seaman on the feed as well. So,
yeah, a good
we're on about
shout
Davey,
here
obviously, aren't we?
Yes,
So,
yes.
a good shout with Eric still, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think we just need to say to Ian Gow also, he's got a few hashtags going on, but if you want to go on Twitter and @TalkBlades, you'll actually get that one there for you, mate. Okay.
Or we could have a bring in Ian Gow.
Bring it in, Ian Gow. I've asked him a few times. He doesn't fancy it, but maybe he's too busy putting semen on his phone. Sorry, mate. Right. Anyway, we'll go to our next new feature, which is it's a bit of a weird one. This I like it. It's Talk Posh versus. So this is our new feature. It's your chance to beat one of us at a random challenge of your choice. So if you are decent at eating, I don't know, 30 chicken nuggets in a minute, or think you could beat this guy at 3 throws at darts, then let us know on the comments below. So any challenge you want us to do, what will happen is we'll film it, you'll film it, and we'll show it on next week's show. So get your challenges in. I'm sure there is going to be some absolutely shocking ones coming in. Anyway, because it's our first week, we had to do a challenge between ourselves. So it was Ben, Adam, and me done a challenge. Here it was. Champion. Easy. Yeah, so there you go. That was our Talk Posh challenge. I was the winner. But the thing is, right, so Chris comes along, dressed in all his suit and stuff, all us lot in our kits, full kit. I won't put a quid in there. Anyway, all in our full kits. Chris turns up, shoes, tie, coat, and tries to trade a challenge in one. Watch what happens.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, in one.
Let's be fair, that was the one we got on camera. That was the first of his 2 efforts, and the first one he also got as well.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, actually. That is very true. So there you go. That was our Talk Posh challenge between ourselves. No challenges come in, I don't think.
No, we have. We've got one.
Have we? Have we?
drinking challenge.
Yeah,
versus Jack.
Okay,
I think Daniel's won.
drinking challenge. So what is the challenge then?
With
What, a
Lee.
pint? Can you do a pint?
We can give it a
How
go.
many points you can drink before you lose your shirt?
Yay! Do you want to do a pint?
Yeah, go on then, Dan. It'll have to be tomorrow. I'll message you separately, but we'll do the first one to down a pint
Yeah.
for tomorrow. I'll message you what time I finish work, etc., and then we'll get that on for next Monday. Okay. So Dan, I'll message you later, right?
Good stuff. That's our first challenge. Happy days. No, that wasn't the skip challenge, Dan. It was the trailer challenge, by the way. Good stuff. Any more going on social media? Anyone want to comment on anything happening? Steve Coulson golf chipping at Fort Wood. That might be quite a good challenge as well.
I'll eat some chips, but I ain't good at golf.
Yeah. Most Jaegers in a minute from Sean Boughton. I don't think I can manage that.
It'll have to be an away game.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. Any more? Any more on there?
Someone's challenged me one at Portsmouth away. I do believe Portsmouth away is the last game of the season, Phil. Yeah. Oh no, it's Phil. He lives in the Isle of Wight. We'll let him off. Okay, so we've got overseas viewers tonight as well.
Wicked. Going global again. Anyway, we'll move on. The bet of the week is back. If you could get your bets on for Saturday's game, so any bet you want to put on, that would be great. It's sponsored by Head to Head Barbers again. In Yaxley, we were rubbish at it last season. I don't think we won anything. So we're going to put it up to you guys at home to get. So if our winnings are less than the amount of money put on the bets, then they will make up the difference as well. And our charity this season is the Free Kicks Foundation. So if there's any bets that you want to make for this Saturday's game, get them into us nice and quickly because we need to go. We'll see if anything comes in. If you was to put a bet on, Ben, what would you put on?
Oh God!
On the spot.
Surely, if it's against
Tom Nichols to score.
against us.
If he does score, by the way, I am holding you responsible now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But I said we'll draw, so it's not like
We're
it's
not
a
going
loss.
to draw.
Anyway, what we got? Both teams to score. Posh win. Baldwin red card. Both teams to score by Johnny. I bet Nichols will score from Paul. What do we want to go? Any of them?
Baldwin red card's a bit of a curveball there.
Do we want to bet on that though? Really?
It's got to be
negativity.
both teams to score. It's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Both teams to score and Posh win. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
from Dan. Cheers for that, Dan. Both teams score. Posh win.
You booked
I
it as
saw Ben Horrocks. Do you know him, Del?
Yeah, we'll do that another day.
Highest scored darts after 9 darts. That'll be interesting to do.
You plays for darts team, so it'll be interesting.
Steve Coulson, Madison at Roll Around. Steve, no negativity, mate. All right.
Yeah. You owe some money, Steve. Or to be fair, he's done all right for us already. Cheers, Steve. I think that's about it, to be honest. Once again, really sorry for any technical issues. Obviously, you can see it's a new studio. We have got new equipment. If Alex don't get it wrong, if Alex doesn't get it right next week, he will be where Fozzie is now, and that is sacked. So, anyway, we'll carry on. So, cheers, boys, for tonight. Cheers for watching at home. We've got really good feed on there. Cheers for our sponsors, Serpentine Green Shopping Centre. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get your nominations in throughout. Look out for all the tweets during the week. That's it. Over the Posh.
Up the Posh.
Yeah.